One of the fun things about a spy movie like this is it goes on a road trip. It's got great locations. You're in DC, you're in London, you're in Paris, Marseille, Russia, Istanbul. It takes you places. It's a real adventure.
We chose places that were not the obvious places you would go, and it provides a certain grit.
The bit that I enjoy the most is where you're kind of creating those worlds, especially on a film like this, which is so location heavy. I can actually say that this film has more set numbers than any film I've ever worked on.
We had an exceptional set designer named Maria Jerkovic, and to have her design our CIA headquarters was prolific in a way that it put you in a place where you felt like you were right there in the depths of the CIA.
Nice office you have.
Yeah, if you don't like sunlight or fresh air.
All the stuff that's meant to be in America is actually shot in the UK. So our version of the CIA. We found a location which we did a whole number on.
My office was at one time the head of the British nuclear department. Way outside of London in the countryside, it feels a little bit like the Pentagon. You know you're walking through the halls of power.
Coming up. I wanted to evoke a little bit of the heritage of the film, particularly some of those classic 1970s paranoid political thrillers. So there is just a little hint of the retro chic feeling about it.
You're on 2 floors of the CIA, the one where the directors all work, which is the more conventional office space, and then where Hella works, down in the basement. It really is in the bowels of the building. And it was important to make them feel very, very different. On the ground floor, we made it look as if it's the basement by completely covering all the windows with scenery. It's amazing how many cheats you can make doing what we do. As long as it sort of smells right and feels right, you can get away with an awful lot.
We gave them a lot of glass-walled offices, as if it's transparent. They've got nothing to hide from their co-workers. Visually, that allows me much more depth and interest, and you can see people bending an ear to see who's meeting with who now, who's in trouble.
You need to take some time. Go home, Charlie.
One of my favorite locations was the farmhouse that we shot at the beginning of Sarah and Heller's love story in. It's just this beautiful house on a beautiful piece of land with these fields out back.
The Hella house I thought was going to be really, really tricky because American vernacular architecture is different to English vernacular architecture. But we found this one location that the minute I saw it was like, oh my God, this is extraordinary. This actually looks very, very American. And we actually built the barn in a different location, so the effects of putting 2 locations together.
It just feels like something out of a storybook for this storybook romance, but it also feels real and like a place that has so much history. And so it makes such an impact on screen.
One of the great things about this genre is you want to open up a world to the audience. You want to give scale to it. So the initial killing happens in London, and we were filming at St Pancras Station there. And then, of course, we have the story of Hella's journey. So here we are arriving first in Paris. Action! Where we are doing a big stunt scene. The first of the revenge killings in his quest for vengeance. And cut. Check it. I thought that was great. And then we're going to travel on to Marseille. We go to Berlin, to Madrid, across to Istanbul. So it really is quite a quest across Europe.
I love being out on the streets, shooting in Istanbul, shooting in Marseille, all over the place. There's nothing better.
Marseille is a very particular place. It's got an incredible underground music scene and graffiti scene and club scene, and that thumps its way through the soundtrack and into the visuals in the movie.
When you're working on a film with lots of different locations, it's sort of trying to find which countries will give us the broadest amount of faces to it. For example, Inquiline's house is meant to be in Turkey, but we're shooting a lot of what's meant to be in Turkey in Marseille. We found a really great little bit of coast outside Marseille, and we all really liked it straight away. It's a hybrid set location, her house. We found a location which was a restaurant right on the coast, and we're building within it. So you're taking bits of it that you're just redecorating and other bits of it that you're building. That's something we do quite often.
This is the first place I've stayed in for more than a month.
I'm always amazed how locations find these places. It's just like, it's really incredible. We have this great little cottage that's Inquiline's hideout, and not only is the set itself incredible, but then you get to go outside and it's the light and it's everything. And I think as an actor, when you have all of these things, it just fills in so many sensory gaps for you when you're working, that it allows you to just really go deep into the character.
Inquiline is a really mysterious character. So I wanted somewhere that felt dangerous and on the edge of Europe and more likely to be a place of espionage and risk. So we chose Istanbul, which is such an exotic and rich place. Every which way you point the camera, there's depth and texture and scale.
But constantly we were using Marseille for Istanbul, we were using Istanbul for Russia, we were at sea for days. That's what gave this movie so much scope. You could do these things on stage somewhere, but when you're out there doing it properly all over the world, taking the time to do it with the best of the best, then you're setting yourself up for an extraordinary cinematic experience.